was crazy. And they asked me like, "Oh, what did you know about it?" I was like, "I didn't know nothing. I showed up and they said, hey, we're going over here to do this." And I was like, "Okay."
Well, let's go traveling down memory lane, fellas. The DS invasion of WCW in the tank. Vincent Road Dogg, if you can provide the inside scoop on how that all came about. We have two very, very instrumental names here as far as that whole segment, and we'll start with Vince this time.
Yeah, I want to go first because there's stuff Brian doesn't know about. I think that'll pop him huge. Okay, Brian, you know, listen, I've worked for other wrestling companies, and this is what people don't understand, and you will understand this better than anybody, bro. When I worked with WCW. When I worked, especially with TNA, and we both worked everywhere. Bro, there's budgets involved. Yeah. So when you're writing the show, it's not free reign. Like, especially
everybody
TNA.
thinks it is.
No, bro, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. The beauty of writing for the WWE is, bro, whatever you put on that paper, they're gonna do it. You know it, Brian. You know they're gonna do it. No expense. So, Brian, I'm sitting there, and I'm me and Ed, we're writing this DX angle, bro. I swear to you, for shits and giggles, I write on the paper, DX rides up to the WCW building in a rocket launcher. For shits and giggles, like, yeah, bro, okay, yeah, Kevin, get this one.
Yeah.
Bro, I swear to God, I send them the show. 2 hours later, they got a freaking rocket launcher. And I'm like, when that happened, I'm like, bro, there's nothing they can't. There's nothing they can't do, bro.
Hey, and look, that's what he says. Hey, I want to do this, and you have people say, "Great." Perfect. And then they make that happen. I'll never forget when he said we're going to have a network and nobody knew how to have a network. And
right, exactly.
Hey, this is what I want, so make it happen. And he surrounds himself with people that make that happen. And that's genius, if you ask me.
But yeah, that's where it started, Chris. Like, because I'm like, there's no way where are they going to get a rocket launcher? Like, come on, give me a break. And sure enough, and the rest was all these guys.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's what I loved about you wrote us into a lot of really cool scenarios that you kind of just gave us creative freedom to kind of get out of, you know what I mean? And I thought it was so much fun. A lot of the really good stuff is on the cutting room floor because it couldn't make air. If you can imagine that from DX.
But yeah, bro, when Hunter's got you guys lined up and you guys can't keep a straight face. That's the beauty of it, bro. That is the beauty of it, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. And they asked me like, "Oh, what did you know about it?" I was like, "I didn't know nothing. I showed up and they said, hey, we're going over here to do this." And I was like, "Okay."
Now, bro, was there ever a discussion between you guys? Did the discussion ever take place? Well, what if they open up the gate and invite us in?
No. So, and I have thought about that from that day. And I've told this story before. Ming worked in there. Like I immediately go to my prison common sense, right? Just hit the biggest guy in there. And so I'm going down the roster in my mind as I'm pounding on the door, and all of a sudden Ming's face pops in there. And I'm like, you know what? Please, God, don't open this door.
So you guys are just driving up and like,
oh yeah, we didn't talk about it. We were just rolling with it. You know what I mean? And that's, thank God it didn't roll up.
That was
great. Yeah. Do you think, because I've interviewed Eric Bischoff many times, and you know we've talked before just as far as like what would have happened if the door would have opened. So in your mind, say for instance you're in the tank, the door would have opened. What would you have done if that would have happened? And then, you know, Hall and Nash or somebody would have been there. Do you think it would have been? And
big hugs all around, right, Brian? Wouldn't it have been big hugs?
I was going to say, there's live cameras. There's live cameras there, and we see this. What would have happened if the door would have opened?
I'm sure they would have run security over there to get us out, but I think it would have been big hugs all around. I think my brothers worked there, like Kevin and Scott. I think it would have been like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then they would have sent us out via security.
Yeah. And they would have probably done some fake pull apart or something like that. Just had a bunch of security just to stay.
We would have made something up too and shot it. Weren't we close to them the next week also? Like we were pretty close to them the next week, and wasn't there like a thought that they might do something back to us?
I think so,
making
man.
That up?
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of headshots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.